It's Christmas Eve, and so it's time for Christmas dinner and Christmas dessert. But today we'll do only Christmas dessert, so let's open this mystery box. Guys, and welcome to this special episode of Mystery Box. It's Christmas Eve, and even though I said that I celebrate Christmas on the 7th of January, I love to bake some stuff for my family for 25th of December because it's so fun to do and I love baking for my family. So today, this video, I'll show you 3 of the recipes that I love to do for my family, and they are not much, but I love doing them, and it's so fun to bake and make something that will be great to have with your family. First thing first, for baking at any time, you must tie your hair up and wash your hands. So I'll see you after I wash my hands to start recipe number 1. Hey everybody, and welcome back. So I just finished baking and we tasted everything. Not everything, we didn't taste the chocolates yet. The cookies were a little bit undercooked and that's totally fine. Also the cake didn't have enough sugar according to my sister and my mom. The thing is, I'm the type of person who doesn't like the cakes and this stuff overly sweet. So I made it according to my taste. So this is just to say that you may need to add a little bit of sugar more than what was in the recipe. This is number 1. Number 2, I didn't have enough memory for filming everything because the cake recipe was so much and it was enough to kill my memory card. It's okay, it's fine. Didn't actually kill it. It still works, but it was so full that I couldn't film any other thing. So I'll be only posting the recipe of the fruitcake, and I hope I'll be able to do the others sometime because I couldn't film them. So yeah, now after baking everything and tasting some, I'm editing, and hopefully when you see this it will be posted. And I think I'll be filming tomorrow a little bit of surprise I'm making for my family for Christmas, but I don't know how this will work. I think it will be fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys next video, probably tomorrow, and bye for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. So first thing we'll be doing is the fruit cake, and I'll start with cutting this apple. Small pieces because it will be just inside the cake, like little bits of it. The whole thing because this will be too much. I'll just use just a little tiny bit of the apple. I'll just leave the rest of it for the side, save it for later. Here goes. I'm just going to let them sit for now in this pan, and I'll tell you later why. Turn of this orange to be cut. And it was well washed, so I want to keep a little bit of the peel because it will taste good. It will not be like the zest. I will not make it like this, but you'll see as I go on. You can really put any fruit inside. I used strawberries too last year, but this year I don't have any, so I'm just going with the other ones that I want to use. To the pan too. Then I'll wash this lemon and just zest a little bit of it. That's enough. That's only the bit that we want. We don't want it to be over flavored by one thing, so we're not going to use much of it. Why did I do this? Because the nuts will be better when they're roasted, and I want the fruits, the spices and the nuts to be together to flavor each other and to be more flavorful. So that's why I did this. And so I'll just put some of the nuts here. There is a nice trick that I'll show you. After this is being roasted, for now everything is here except for the spices. Our spices are only cinnamon and nutmeg. All I'm going to do is just put in here a little bit, not much, just a little tiny bit. Yeah, I think that's enough. Just take a bit. And take care because this thing may take your finger. Okay. And then I'll add a small spoon of cinnamon but I'm going to use the big one just to also stir it on the heat here. But I'm just going to put a little tiny bit, like half of a teaspoon. That's enough. And I'll just stir it a little bit before being put in the fire, or like before making the heat on. It smells really good, and I don't know why fruitcake repetition is not really that good, but I think I like it. Okay, now leave it in just low temperature, because you don't want it to be over done or like a little bit of burnt. So I'll just leave it here to slowly mix together, and I'll go on with the cake itself. You hear this sizzling sound? This looks pretty. This was a little bit of fail because I totally forgot to say the ingredients before. So I just say it now, and this will not be repeated in the other recipes. So the recipe I have is the recipe of my mom, and in this recipe we'll make a big cake, and since we are only 4, I'm not going to make a big cake, so I'm going to reduce it to half of the ingredients. So the things I will need, I'll be following the recipe directly because I don't know a recipe myself, so I'll just follow mom's recipe for half of the amount. 1/2 cups of flour, and here we go. I like to measure because I don't like to just be random at these things, because I usually mess things up if I'm going random. The ingredients here are, for half of the amount, 1/4 cup of oil and 1 cup of sugar. It can be less if you're using fruit like me. You may just put it more to taste, and 1.5 cups of flour, and baking powder, vanilla extract, and just anything you want for it to be like the filling of the cake. I'm using this thing that's sizzling, I think you can see it. So I add 1/4 of this cup. Also, you must keep your eye on the mixture of the nuts and fruits because you don't want it to be burnt. So now we'll put the sugar, and in the recipe it is 1 cup of sugar for half of the amount. I'll be putting a little bit less than half a cup. So I basically put like I think this will be enough, and this must be added to this. just stir it really well. Okay, that's good. And we'll leave it aside till we add here the flour. Now I'll just add the 1.5 cup of flour, and it's the white all-purpose one. I think so. This is our cup. This is our half. I'll also add 1 packet of this vanilla extract. It can be liquid or in powder form, so this is fine too. And this is baking powder too. And I'm not going to add the whole pack because my mom told me that if it was too much of baking powder is something like that makes the cake rise and be fluffy and so. But if you added more than required, it will rise and then it will drop again, and so it will not be delicious. It will not be basically a nice cake. It will just be a fail. So I'm not going to add the whole packet because of this. Okay, that's enough. I added like 3/4 of this packet. To whisk these together, the dried ingredients, except for the sugar, which is already with the oil. This is vegan. I forgot to say this because, as I said, I celebrate Christmas on the 7th of January, and till then we fast for like 43 days before it, so all of this will be vegan. I'm just going to add the mixture of oil and sugar to the mixture of flour, vanilla extract and baking powder here. The electric one, but my electric one is broken, so I'm not going to use it. Oopsie. It's nice that we're wearing an apron. I'll add a little bit of water too to the sugar here. I have a feeling that this is failing. Okay guys, so according to my mom, I just asked her and she said that this texture is the right one for a vegan cake, and since I'm not really used to baking so many vegan things, I didn't know this. So the texture must be a little bit more heavy than this, or like not this like watery. It shall be a little bit harder, but this is because we're still going to add this. And here comes the trick: when you add raisins or nuts or the fruits or any of these things, they usually stick to the corner or just go to the bottom of the cake, which will not be good when you eat it because you will just have them in one piece. So this is a trick I heard from another YouTuber, and I can't really remember if this is right or wrong, but I think it should be Rosanna because I'm a fan of her. So I'm just going to add a little bit of flour so that I'll just mix it up here. So when it comes with the dough, the cake dough that I have here, it will stick to it and just be all over it. So this is what we're going to do now. I just put a little bit of flour, like just like this, and I'll add it to the pan. It will not do any difference in its taste, just like this. And you need to mix it up again. Mix it up, and we're now good to go and add it here. Sprinkle some oil. You can use cooking spray, but I don't have this. And then I sprinkle some flour just to make sure, and I just hit there so it will be good and nice and covering all of it. And then I'll add this dough and I'll stick it in the oven. So yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. With a clean napkin, just spread the little tiny drop of oil. This is if you didn't use the cooking spray. Cooking spray will make it a lot easier, and if I had it, I would have used it, of course. Now for the flour part, I'm just going to do this and this. The flour will stick to the pan because of the oil, and so it will not, the cake will not stick and make us have hard time getting it out. And another tip, it's not the time for it right now, but I meant to say in case I forgot it, never ever take a cake out of this pan thing or any thing that looks like it before it cools down. You must leave it to set and to cool down before you try and take it out, or else it will just stick there, it will be cut, and it will not be a cake. And anyway, it will just be a mess, like a glob of something really weird and looking weird. Okay, so we have this here now to make it as much as I can spread, because it's a little bit of hard to spread because still it doesn't have any egg or butter. It has oil in it, but still I'll take every bit of dough here. Before get to the part that I like, which is a little bit of decoration. It's not really decorating, but anyway, before we get to our final part, before putting it in the oven, this is really important. You must give it just a shake like this, because you don't want the air bubbles to remain there and prevent it from being nice and cake like so. Okay, just lovely. Now I'll just add more nuts on top, just like decorating. I'm trying to make it look like the measured thing, I think is the name. You can really do whatever you like at this point. This is how it looks right now. It's not the best kind of decoration, but it looks yummy, I think. So yeah, now I'm going to stick it in the oven. So here it goes, and it shall be in for 20 minutes, but I must check on it every now and then so that it won't be overly burned or not enough. The cake became a little bit of more golden, and it's fine. I took it out and just let it there to cool before it's cut and served. Thanks for watching and Merry Christmas. Comment what other holiday foods you like. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing and sharing. See ya!